Awesome. All right. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to our Stories of Wellness. I'm on and I met these two wonderful young mamas that I just clicked with right away. I felt like we just had our own little posse there of because you guys are both teachers, right? Used to be teachers? Used to be teachers. And interestingly enough, last week we had a event that was teachers that had retired thanks to Plexus as well. So that was pretty cool because Marla is also a retired teacher thanks to Plexus. And yeah, she's not working 7 jobs anymore, just her Plexus job. And anyway, I met Jordan and Haley and just hit it off with them and thought it would be fun to have them on. So Jordan, I'm going to start with you. Jordan is a Ruby on her way to senior Ruby, and she's also now a stay-at-home mom. And I'm going to have her share her health story and also just how this business has kind of transformed her life.
Yay. Thank you. Hi, guys. Yes, like she said, we literally just met in April and asked us to do this, and we were like, of course. So I am Jordan Gibson, like she said, Ruby ambassador, on our way to senior Ruby this month, hopefully. So very exciting stuff for this team. But goodness, I am like the healthy girl. I love everything health and wellness. I read nutrition labels in my spare time. Like my husband is so over all the crunchy things, but we have just begun. So I graduated college in 2019. I ran track in college, like I said, all the health things. And so I have always been very aware of what I'm eating and what I'm doing, but that all changed after I became a mom. I had my baby right in the middle of the C word, the pandemic, and in 2020, yeah, Haley did too. I forget about this. And so many things are going on hormonally, right? When we become moms, it's the most incredible thing ever, but like a lot of stuff goes on. And so I knew something was kind of off. I was like, it's got to be my hormones, because that's literally the only thing that's changed was I had a baby. And so in my master's program, I studied probiotics, and, like gut health is like a buzzword now, right? And so I was like, probiotic is going to like change my life. It's going to help everything. And so I started doing some research with probiotics, and around this same time, I was working with another coach, friend of mine, who her daughter happens to be Jordan Roddenberry. And so this lady and I were very good friends. We taught together, we coached together on the high school level. And she was like, you need to do Plexus. Like, if you want to stay at home, you need to do Plexus. And I'm like, multi-level marketing? I'm like, what is this girl talking about? I'm like, no way. Because, I'm a part of that generation. I think we all are a part of the generation of, there were some businesses that came out and we did not appreciate the way they did business, the messages and like all the spammy things. Like, we didn't want to feel that way. Like, you never wanted to be that girl. And so I'm like, So of course I friend Jordan Roddenberry is my diamond upline. I'm her level 1. And so I friended her, and I was like, she is like, looks really cool. Like, she apparently makes a lot of money. There's no way her pink drink works that well, like all these things. I'm like, there's no way she's as happy and she's as successful in a multi-level marketing company. And so of course I reached out to her, and the rest is kind of history. But so I really started more for the business and the products too. My story is a little different in that way, but I was like, okay, let me start this triplex. Let's start. And so y'all, within 2 weeks, like, I was not bloating anymore. I had enough energy to come home from, we as coaches worked. I would wake up at 6 in the morning or before 6 and come home after 5:30, which is normal in some things, not always, but like, I was tired after practice, and I didn't have the energy to come home and be a mom with my, she was about 7 months old. And so it broke my heart. And so Plexus was giving me that energy that I didn't think was possible. Like, I thought it was going to be forever, that I was just going to be tired and feel the way I felt. And so, you know, within a couple of months, I was making money and sharing and absolutely loving it. And of course, I learned from the best, and it's not spammy, and it's just, it's a part of my life. Plexus is truly just now a part of my life and what we do. And it just mixes in with everything that I love, in terms of health and wellness and putting good things into our body, and ingredients matter and all the things. So I think that's really it. But my story is definitely one of just consistency. My business has just really been consistent. I actually went Ruby in February of 2022. That was last year. Yeah. I'm like, when was that? And I had 2 golds that quit. And so that obviously was heartbreaking, and it's going to happen. You're going to have people quit in your business. I'm sure even Marla can attest to that, and I heard it over and over and over again. The same team that gets you Ruby is not the team that's going to get you Emerald. And I'm like, no, my girls are going to be here forever. And that was not the case. My 2 golds quit, and now I have 3 new golds that are ready to go. And here we are, headed to Senior Ruby. And so that's just a little word of encouragement, because I have not given up. I believe in this business. I believe in the products, and I believe in the people who are speaking into me. And so that is why my business has been so consistent. And now we're even moving forward out of consistency, because we all know that in network marketing, if you're being consistent, your business is growing. And technically, if it's not growing in numbers, you're still recruiting and you're still doing the things that are going to move you eventually past. And so just wanted to encourage y'all with that, because we even met a couple of girls at Ruby's on the Rise who were like, I've been Ruby for like 3 years. And we're like, okay, keep doing what you're doing, move past it. It's gonna, you know, if you stay consistent, if you stay diligent, it's going to pay off. So that's my story.
And isn't it amazing that you get to do all of that by helping people?
Yes.
You know, and there are lots of amazing network marketing companies, but not all of them are really transforming your health,
Yeah.
and also able to transform your finances, because you were able to quit teaching, right?
Yep. Yes, I did.
What,
Oh gosh,
at what,
within a couple months.
wow, that's so
Yeah.
awesome. And
And
now
that was
you get to
also a
stay home
faith
with your
thing.
baby. Like that's,
I know. That was definitely a faith thing in the business and in the business itself, you know, the comp plan. I was like gold, senior gold, maybe, when I quit. Like, I just knew that it was going to give us what we needed financially to be able to stay home. And yes, now I have another son. And so we've already had another baby between now and the time I quit. And yeah, I was just talking with my RSM the other day, and we were having our little meeting during lunchtime. And so my little boy is like yelling at me the whole time because he thinks he's starving. And I was like, I'm sorry, can you repeat that? And he's like, this is what Plexus is about. Like, we get to sit here and do business and work, and you're at home with your kids. And I was like, oh, you're so right. So that was just, yeah, it's
that's
such a
awesome.
blessing that we get to do what we do, for sure.
And I can totally attest to being the teacher and coach. I think back to when I was teaching and coaching and how many naps I needed. Like, and I had no kids.
Right.
I
Yeah.
needed naps
No.
all the time. And I was so exhausted. And now I'm homeschooling and, you know, coaching some baseball now this summer and coaching some basketball here and there. And it's
I
like, I
love
could
that.
nap if I tried, you
Yeah,
know?
for sure. So you
Can
take an
I
active and you get going.
can I speak to, she mentioned my RSM. Do you want to just explain what that is, Andrea, for others?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
the
have.
Jordan or Jordan, either one.
Yeah,
Oh
go
yeah,
ahead, Jordan.
no, go ahead. You can do it.
Oh, it's your regional sales manager, and he or she, I don't know if there are any females that are
Yeah.
doing, I think there are, yeah. But they are your coaches once you hit is it Ruby or Senior Ruby? Ruby. It's gotta be Ruby. Yeah, then you have
I
access.
think you can ask for them
Yeah.
once you hit Ruby.
Yeah, I think they're assigned when you're senior Ruby, but yeah, I think you can get them when you're Ruby.
And I honestly wasn't sure. I was like, what are they going to do for me? You know, he has pulled up spreadsheets and like data and info that I'm like, oh, I can work off of this. I can use this. You need to take advantage of them for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very helpful. I agree. Well, thank you, Jordan. I love hearing your health and business story. So cool. Plexus is so unique that it offers both, you know? So thank you. Haley, we are going to bring you on.
Yeah.
Haley is also she's a senior Ruby and also stay-at-home mom used to be teacher. So go ahead and tell us all you have to tell us.
All right. Hello. Yes. Haley Jenkins here. I have two kids, two little girls, and it's kind of funny because Jordan and I's story is like very similar. Like I was the healthy girl as well. Like I played basketball in college. I was a teacher coach, and I always was very aware of what I was eating too, but in the sense of I looked at like calories, fats, carbs, macros. Didn't like care about ingredients back in the day until I had my first child. And then that's whenever I started focusing on what I was putting in my body and what my children were putting in their body. And so to back it up even more, whenever I was, what was it, 2020, that's when Carter was born. My husband got a new job in Nebraska. And so we were moving to Nebraska. I guess he moved back in October and I was moving at the end of the semester. And so I knew whenever I was leaving, I was not going to teach anymore. So I did not get to quit my job because of Plexus. But Plexus has helped me stay home. So anyways, he left and I knew that I couldn't unless, of course, like I went through like emergency certification or whatever. And I knew that would take time. And so my husband and I talked about it and we made sure that if this was the job he was going to take, that I would be able to stay home with my one child at the time. And I really wanted that. I've always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And so it just kind of worked out that when we went to Nebraska, I was able to stay home, but I was not doing any network marketing at the time, but I wanted to because I knew that was the best option to make money and stay home. Funny story, I did not start with Plexus. I actually tried, I think it was 3 other network marketing companies, and they just weren't for me. And I think that's okay because some network marketing companies are not for you, but I think they're all amazing if you go about it the right way. And so I tried the others and they just were not a fit for me. And so in 2021, we moved back to Texas. It was not, we were there for like a year. We were just too far away from family. So when we moved back to Texas, we moved to basically like where the money can be made in Texas. And my husband was making a good amount of money, but it was also still expensive to live here and expensive for everything. And so we were worried that I was going to have to get a full-time job. I did not want to go back to work. I did not want to go back teaching. And so I started seeing my friend Chandler, who is my upline, and all her Plexus posts. We had been friends on Instagram for multiple years and nothing ever stuck out to me about her until God was like, here, this is your opportunity. And so I started seeing her post, and I was like, what is this Plexus stuff? How does it help? What? And that's when I was also focusing more on ingredients. And so I told my husband, I said, I think I want to try this Plexus stuff out, but I really want to make sure this is like clean ingredients. I want to make sure it helps me out personally because I don't want to share products that I don't love. And so it took me 6 months before I actually started the products. And then it took me another like 3 months before I joined the business. And so it was like 2021, October of 2021 when I joined the business. But I had been on the products because I was craving chocolate chips. Like I would eat handfuls of chocolate chips every single day, multiple times a day. And that's when I was like, something is wrong because I thought that I was healthy. I was eating healthy. We meal prep our food every week. My husband and I meal prep our food. We do carbs, proteins, fats. We focus on veggies, like we do it all, but I was still craving sugar. And so I knew something was wrong. And whenever I tried the products, I fell in love and how they helped me. And I was like, okay, babe, I think this is what is going to be what we need to do for me to make money because I truly believe in it. And I know it can help me and it can help so many others. And so I started the business in October. I got pregnant in December. And so I had a pregnancy without Plexus, and I now have had a pregnancy with Plexus. With my first child, it was miserable. I was sick the whole pregnancy. Did not get to work out. Like, working out is my jam. Did not get to work out during my pregnancy. I had no energy, was not sleeping good. I couldn't do anything but basically like get up and go to work since I had to. But I was throwing up at work. My friend came out of her classroom because she heard somebody throwing up and thought it was a kid, but it was really me. So I was like throwing up at school with my first child. And so I was excited to be on the products with my second pregnancy. And I was still sick. I guess my children just don't love me. So I was still sick, but I could make it through the day. I was not throwing up. I did not have to take the medicine that I was taking in my first pregnancy. I could actually work out. I could eat. I did not lose weight like I lost weight with my first one since I was throwing up. I did not have as many sugar cravings with Carter. I was eating like the Sour Patch Kids, the Sour Patch watermelon. I had my husband go get a ice cream cake one night. Like, I was bad. And with the second one, her name's Lainey. With Lainey, I was not like that. And so it was just 100 times better, even though I still was sick. And then I had Lainey. And so I was determined in my heart, I really wanted to breastfeed. With Carter, I did not get to breastfeed. We just had a lot of problems. And so I exclusively pumped until I went back to work. And when I went back to work, just everything went downhill and it was not good. And so I lost my supply and had to put Carter on formula, which is totally fine. Either way, I'm glad she got food, but I just wanted, for my sake, to breastfeed the whole time. And so she was on formula up until her 1-year birthday. So about 6.5 months. With Lainey, we have been exclusively breastfeeding and my supply is strong for 10 months now. And even to the point where my dad came over to our house, opened our deep freezer and was like, your mom never had that much milk. How do you have that much milk? And I only pumped like in the morning whenever I would wake up and would be full, or at nighttime, depending on what time Lainey went to bed. So I was not pumping a lot, or I would use my Haka. And so just the amount of milk I had, I know was because of Plexus. And it's so funny because my heart is broken, but so happy. I had to give away pretty much all of my milk because my Lainey's sensitive to dairy, and all of that milk had dairy in it when we finally realized it. And so I'm just happy that I could give it to someone else, and I had enough to give to her and make her happy and grateful. And she's just she doesn't have enough milk supply for her baby. And so heartbroken for me, but so excited that I had enough milk for her. So it's just a blessing in all. Which while all that was happening, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I have heard so many testimonies of milk supply improvement with Plexus. And I'm curious, are you going to test out how it works the longer you're on the products for the next pregnancy?
Well, if I was to have another baby, yes, but we are very content with 2. And just because both my pregnancies were not the funnest and I was still sick, right now we're 2 and done, but it's all up to God. So if anything happens, I will continue and see if it's any different with number 3 for sure. But that also like led to, I had a newborn and I had a toddler, and just having the energy for my toddler and being able to wake up in the middle of the night and feed my newborn, and then still wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning with my toddler and just not need coffee. I used to need coffee daily, and not need it right when I wake up was a huge blessing. Being able to not have to nap when my kids are napping is a blessing. I do remember when Carter was little, whenever I was stay-at-home mom with just Carter, I would nap when she was napping. At times I was exhausted. And now to this point, I am getting up around 5 o'clock in the morning on my own to work out, work my business a little bit, and or read, do a devotional. And so I am getting up early, and sometimes there are late nights, depending on how Lainey goes, or even Carter. She's not sleeping great either. So I don't get the best sleep, but when I'm sleeping, I have great sleep. And then when I wake up, I can make it through the day. And I mean, I'm tired when it's bedtime and I'm ready to go to bed, but I can make it. And I'm just very thankful for that, that I don't have to take a nap when my kids nap. So that's wonderful, which also brings me to the last deal, is being able to stay home with my babies. So I actually got a part-time job. So when I got pregnant with Lainey, I had just started Plexus, and I got a part-time job because we were worried about me having to go back full-time. So I said I'd do a part-time job. Well, I was working evenings and on the weekends. So never seeing my husband and never being able to like put Carter down for bed anymore. And so I was like, Plexus has to work. Like, I want Plexus to be the reason that I can stay home, not worry about any type of part-time or full-time job. And so I worked part-time up until June something, when my boss told me that I guess I was 36 weeks pregnant, I think. And he was like, you're going home. You could go into labor at any point in time. You're not coming back. And I was ready to work until I went into labor, but he told me no. And so it was like June something. And after I had Lainey, I was senior gold at the time. And I was determined that I was not going to go back. Whatever I was going to do, I would not go back. And so I actually went back for like 1 week, 2 weeks maybe. And Lainey was just not doing well at home without me. And so I ended up quitting. But that would have been, I went back in, I think, the very last week of September. October, we went Ruby. And then in February this year of 2023, we went senior Ruby. And so it was just like the determination, like consistency, never giving up. Like, this is what I want for my family. Like, I'm going to make it happen no matter what. Came around.
Yes.
So it's
That's
just
so
been
awesome.
so awesome.
And I feel like, we are so blessed to have such amazing products. Both of you mentioned, the ingredients, and how you're both kind of, Jordan's always been an ingredient snob, and Haley kind of evolved into an ingredient snob, and the products kind of sell themselves in a lot of ways because of the results. And so it is like kind of a no-brainer business model, right? Like,
Mhm.
it does take effort and consistency, but you're not trying to, sell something that might or might not work,
Yep.
and you can do it with the utmost integrity, knowing what's in them.
Yep.
Yeah. So there are so many, for anybody who doesn't know, there are so many crunchy people that are in Plexus and at the top ranks. And it's just, you have master herbalists and naturopaths and all sorts of people that are strong believers in these products because of the integrity of the ingredients and the creation behind them. So, thank you so much for sharing that, Haley. I love your story. You guys have similar stories, but they're different. And I love that you guys get to live your dream and be home with your kids and do what you love to do.
We are too.
Thank
you. So with that, actually, Jordan, Haley, your guys' team is also doing this along with us. We are for the summer, June, July, August, we are doing something called Reset 3 Set. And we are, if you order a reset in the month of May, Marla, you want to show us what you'll get? Look at Vanna. You get this awesome frother. We are going to send that to you if you want to be in that group. It's a separate group, a private group, and there's going to be lots of, you can do a reset every month for June, July, and August, or you can just do one and grab a couple friends and do it together with them in July, August, however you want it to be, but you have to have 100 PV. in the month of May, correct? Do you want to share a little bit more about that, Marla?
Oh, it's going to be so fun. There's like 25 jewels that went together to put some money together to help for prizes. So we're all going to be in there encouraging each other to stay on track with our goals for health while trying to manage summer crazy schedules. So, but doing the reset is a compound effect in June, July, August. If weight loss is your goal or metabolism boosting, that's what's kind of we're recommending to try it 3 months in a row. But you don't have to do all 3. But if you have 100 PV, we want you in there. Also because we all have health goals, right? Drinking our water, getting our steps in, getting our workouts in, doing pivotal together. So it's just going to be fun. So if you're not in the group yet, message your sponsor to get in there. And if you want to put that reset order in and also do it with us in June, we have a set date, the 6th, 7th, and 8th of June. If you can't do it those days, you can do it any other day, but we are going to do it as a group. Yeah, put your order in for that. And then you get this nice little mixer that you can mix your drinks with. And yeah, it's going to be fun. Oh, and then there's a transformation too. There's going to be one prize at the very end in August for somebody that's lost the most weight and lost the most inches. And then during the phase of the event, we're giving participation prizes and cheerleader prizes. So people that are encouraging others. And so it's going to be a blast, but get accountability partners to do it with you, like a sister, a daughter, mom, somebody that maybe is looking for better health. I think everybody's looking for something. So yeah, it's great.
It doesn't have to be weight loss either. You know, I don't always feel like weight loss is my goal right now. It's been a month of birthdays, so I could probably use it for that reason. But other than that, I love doing a reset just to depuff and to get rid of the toxicity and to get my mindset right with my relationship with food, and really, I can really tell in my mind, especially on that second day, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have been just sticking things in my mouth without even thinking, and it's time to break that. So if you don't have a reset, I've never seen one. It's the orange box. That's what you're looking for. Cannot wait to do mine. All right. Anything else? No? Did we have any questions in the group here for Haley or Jordan? I didn't see any. Haley was pumping at Ruby's on the Rise. Yes, Stacy, I'm still breastfeeding at 21 months on Plexus. Yeah, that's so awesome. Marla, can you see in the Facebook group?
Oh, I wish I would have had Plexus when I had babies. My babies are 33 and 30 now.
I always say I accidentally did a science experiment with my kids. I did 2 pre-Plexus babies and 2 Plexus babies, and boy, their gut health is massively different. So I apologize to my older kids all the time. I'm so sorry. I just didn't know. I just didn't know I couldn't eat an entire bag of Jolly Ranchers while I was pregnant in a week.
Well, it wasn't your fault. It was Candida.
Yes, that Candida.
Yeah, there's no questions in the group there, so.
All right. Well, thank you, Jordan and Haley, for hopping on. I so appreciate it. And thank you everybody else for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Okay.
Happy resetting. Bye.
Bye.